Hi Cancer, welcome to your mid-September 2022 general love reading. This is your girl Mermaid Scales Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is a general love reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or any other strong placement for the sign of Cancer. This reading will not resonate with every Cancer that watches this message, and because this reading is general, not every single message may be for you, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else who needs to hear that message. And if this reading is not for you at all, Cancer, I highly suggest checking out your other signs and different placements. Hi, Cross Watchers. You're very welcome here if you're interested in a Cancer. Who wouldn't be? I like to remind Cancer and Cross Watchers that energy is fluid. And this simply means you may feel like I'm describing a certain situation in the reading where you feel the roles are flipped or reversed, and that's completely okay. You're more than welcome to use your own discretion to flip those roles if that resonates with your specific situation the best. All right, Cancer, let's get this reading started. I'm first going to use my sound bowl to clear and set the energy. So if you are listening to this using headphones or the volume's kind of loud right now, I do suggest turning it down a little bit just for this part because I don't want your ears to hurt. So let's get this started. All right. So let's see what's happening for my Cancers. What energy is surrounding Cancers in love and romance? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Anyone dealing with the Cancer? What is going on in Cancer's love life right now? Ooh, Cancer, obsession. And that came out quick, okay? And it says someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts. All right, Cancer. So yeah, there is someone who thinks about this connection every day, thinks about someone every day. It's getting to a point where it's a little overbearing. I'm almost feeling like an itch in my arm, which is very strange. I don't know if someone's getting even a little anxious. Someone may have like nervous habits, like chewing and biting their fingernails. I'm hearing gum chewing too, kind of loudly. You or this other person. These could just be confirmations for some of you guys out there. Obviously, it's not going to be for everyone, but there is someone who is completely gripped by the thought of you, Cancer. Maybe you guys are reflecting on this onto each other. Maybe both of you are kind of obsessed with the connection here, but there's something in the pit of my stomach that just needs to be identified. I do feel like it's becoming a little bit overbearing. I do feel like I'm seeing like multiple text messages being sent through. I do see multiple DMs, and sometimes it takes a while for someone to get back, and they're like, "Oh, what were you doing that whole time?" Working. I'm having a life outside of this. It feels a little bit overbearing in some ways. But let's keep going before I jump to any conclusions. Tell me more about this energy surrounding Cancer, Spirit. What does this person want to say to Cancer? I feel safer in the silence. Oh, it's one of those. Okay, Cancer, you got one of those people who act like, or whatever they do, they either act like they don't give a damn, or, you haven't heard from them in months. But don't let that fool you, Cancer. They're checking your Instagram for a reason. They're watching your stories for a reason. They are like a silent stalker. It feels that way, and not like stalker in the scary sense that they're outside of your window watching you change and stuff, but they're more impacted by the end of this connection than you think, than you realize. But they're trying to play a poker face because they don't want to admit how gripped they really are by this whole connection with you. It's something that they're a little ashamed of, embarrassed by, especially if they were the ones that messed up the situation, ghosted you or left you hanging, whatever. That was their biggest mistake, because now they're haunted by you, Cancer. now they can't help but wake up and still think about you even after they dreamt about you the whole night. That type of stuff. It's really intense. And I think you always felt the intensity from this person, which kind of made you intrigued by it all. I'm almost feeling like a Capricorn, Scorpio, maybe even an Aries energy coming through in this reading. And I think at first it kind of flattered you by the way that they would hit on you, by the way they would message you, the things they would say to you, whisper to you. But something made them a little bit scared or spooked. And I do feel like they pulled out, but now they're stuck. Because now they think you're going to reject them if they come back. Now they think you're going to not be open to them completely. Maybe you've even shown them that before. For example, like they try to like your Instagram pictures. They try to text message you or call you, but you left them on red, or, you know, you gave them a very basic response that doesn't show you're engaging in this at all. And I don't know, for some reason they think right now it's better to just keep this all within and to watch you from afar than actually to approach you. And maybe that's just a message for you, Cancer, about what to do with this situation as far as, is this worth staying in if you're just going to be silent about all this? But you know they're watching you too, Cancer. I feel that very strongly. You have a sense of it, whether it's energetically or, yeah, you just see they are constantly checking your social media. I even feel for some of you, if you don't have social media, it's like your friends or your family members tell them that they've asked about you, that type of thing. All right, let's jump right on in. I'm seeing the letter N as a Nick, as in Nicole. First, middle, last initial can mean something to someone. Oh, yeah. Okay. I knew I felt Scorpio energy, and the death card just came up and how they feel about you. So let's get right on into this. So with the tarot, I'm going to ask, how do they feel about you right now, Cancer? What do they think about you? What do they like about you? What do they not like about you? What do they like about the connection that they have with you currently? And what do they not like about it? And what are their highest hopes and deepest fears in regards to this connection, Cancer? What are they really hoping is going to unfold between the two of you? And what are they afraid of is going to happen? I don't know, just automatically picking up on this, I feel like they're afraid they're going to get exposed. You know, right when they were not messaging you, they kept silent, thinking that was, you know, the mask they're putting on to show you how much they don't care. If you were to see actually how much they do, it would shatter their ego. It would make them very embarrassed. But I mean, you don't have time for that, Cancer. I already feel like you're just eye rolling with this person because this isn't the first time, maybe even for some of you, that this has happened. Okay. Wow. So, bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy. You could be dealing with a Virgo. You could have Virgo in your chart. It does not have to be the case. With the Pentacles background energy, I always just mention out there that you could have met this person through work, you know, through a project you're collaborating on. But I feel more so than anything, this was the issue, right? There was not enough effort being put in. And I do feel it was very one-sided of the engagement, of asking someone to hang out, of trying to cater around someone's schedule. Like, I don't know, this person was very, very picky, I feel, in the way that they wanted to hang out with you when they were busy. You know, no way could I hit you up. But the second my schedule clears, Cancer, you better be ready to go on a date with me or have me come over. And you felt like it was just too much work, honestly. You were giving so much of yourself to this and this connection for it not to flourish, for it not to show any proof that this was something that was going to be fruitful or long-standing. I think some of you guys just shifted your energy and focused on something else. Whether that was your own career, what was that, your own healing, or even just pursuing other options that you feel would be more eventful and fruitful for you than just trying to put all your effort into this. But they hate the fact that you shifted your focus. I wonder if this person with the obsession card too, it's like, for some of you, it's almost as if when your attention was on them, they liked the constant attention, the constant messages, the open communication you'd have with them. And they felt like you were a little bit like really into them, which struck you, it boosted their ego. But now that it's shifted, it's like the tables have turned. Now they're fixated on you. Not that you were ever fixated on them before, Cancer. Maybe you were, in all honesty, but for most of you, it was just kind of like, I just wanted to see where this could go. I was feeling you, but no, I'm fine alone. No, I don't need you to make me feel anything about myself. I know I have talent. I know I have skill. I know I could put to work and get things I want, but if I'm overdoing it, that's the issue. And I feel with this Eight of Pentacles, that's what's really being conveyed to me. Someone's go-to hairstyle could be like a very high ponytail. You or them, not for everyone, right? But yeah, I do feel the work just became too much. So the energy shifted to something else, to something about you. And now they're obsessed with you because it's like you're not even giving them breadcrumbs. It's as if you've completely ignored them, or you've completely just stopped looking at their stories, like you muted their social media or even blocked them in some sort of way. And now they're wondering what you are doing. If you're not with them, if you're not talking to them, who are you talking to? So let's get into it. How they feel about you is the Death card. Scorpio energy. So this makes a lot of sense of why they're staying silent, because they feel like it's over. They feel like once you're done, and it's time to move on to another chapter. And because of failed attempts before of trying to reach out to you and it didn't work out so much, or because they just know you're not going to be the same way anymore, their heart is telling them to move on. But I feel like their mind is still trying to play this game. Their mind is still so fixated on the thoughts of you, the experiences with you, the connection with you. And I think with the Death card too, they really do grieve over the situation as far as I could have, should have, would have. But it's kind of all too late for that now. And with the Death card being here as well, I feel this person has been very different since you've left. And I think people have picked up on it. They've been a lot more pessimistic, a lot more gloomy. But I think they know they put that nail in the coffin themselves. But yeah, they do feel it's over between the two of you. But what they think about this situation is the Knight of Pentacles. Virgo energy. So right when they feel like it's over, right, their mind kind of starts to play this situation of the what ifs, right? But what if I stay at this? I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is very known for slow movement, right? And I feel like this is where this person is calculating the right steps. Secretly, quote unquote, right? I don't know. I just feel like my Cancers know this, but I'm just confirming it for them. But anyway, it's like they're waiting for the right time to make that move, but they know it's not yet. They know the red light is still on with you, but the moment that opportunity where they think their light will turn green, I do feel they're going to try to offer something, offer a date simply. I don't feel, honestly, Cancer, it would be a commitment, but just to re-engage with you, to get you to come over, to get you to talk with them. But they, in the mental aspect of this whole connection with you, they're still very motivated. And they're still very much engaged in what you're up to, what you're doing. I don't know. It's like almost with the Death card and the Knight of Pentacles, like it's only over for now in their mindset. But in the long run, they think there's still more to gain out of this, and they're not done with you yet. I feel with this Knight of Pentacles too, especially if you do work with this person, they'll like walk by your desk or walk by you, not make eye contact with you, whatever, but best believe when they're at their desk, if it's near you, or, you know, they check to see if you're active on Slack or Zoom or anything like that, they keep an eye on you in some way, somehow. So I would be careful too if you did block them on social media. They still have access to your social media in some way, some shape, some form, whether they use a friend's account or they create fake accounts, especially if you've been getting really random, weird ads on social media, or even like calls from like, you know, blocked numbers or restricted numbers, and they hang up once you pick it up. I highly feel it's this person. But they're still motivated in their mindset. They still think they want this, and they're still planning this despite how they feel. Which is really interesting, because usually in these types of readings, it's like the opposite. And I heard something about pancakes. I don't know why. If someone lives by like a Denny's or an IHOP, or like you guys would go get breakfast together, or you make breakfast for each other in some way. But anyway, what they like the most about you is the Seven of Pentacles, Taurus energy. I really do feel, Cancer, when I picked up this card, is that they don't think you're expecting this. They really right now see the whole situation as you're not even noticing how much they want this, and it's the perfect plot for them, I guess. And I feel like they think you are just kind of cruising along, doing your own thing, but little do you know how much they're watching you, how much they're engaged in this with you. And two, for whatever reason, why they think it's truly over yet, even though they feel that way. They're thinking like it's all of a matter of time before you start to miss them, before you start to reach out to them, that there's more to come from this with the Seven of Pentacles. And right now this is how they're viewing you, whether it's true or not. Right now you may be a little bit stubborn, you're holding your ground, you're keeping your distance, but they really do imagine you checking their social media as much as they check yours. That you think of them just as much as they think you. But right now you're not budging. And they kind of view it as a game. They kind of view it as a chase. But I just feel for most of you, what they like the most about you right now in this connection is that they think you don't pick up on this. You don't pick up on their energy just because they're not showing you through messages, through calls, that there's no evidence that they're as obsessed with you as they are. Also with the Seven of Pentacles, I wonder if they kind of know somehow that you haven't been dating since the split, or you haven't been as successful on your dates. I'd be careful about who you tell your love story with to certain people, especially if they're mutual friends with this person, because I think it's getting back to them. But with like your attempts to move on or attempts to date other people, if you've tried like re-engaged your dating apps and it's just been dud after dud, they know about it somehow. What they don't like about you is the Tower. Scorpio energy, Aries energy. A couple different messages for this card here. For some of you guys, you have a temper, and it's not one that is often. I feel for my Cancers I'm picking up here, it's like very, very rare do you get this upset or get this angry, but this person has gotten you there before. And you let them have it, Cancer. You called them out and you exposed their lies or their false promises or their BS in whatever way, shape, or form that was. And it shook them. They don't want to see that side of you again, Cancer. And maybe that's why they're feeling safer in silence, right? Because they know you have this ability to expose the crap out of them. And they don't want to be put in that position again. It was a blow to their ego when you did that, big time. Even if it was everything they needed to hear, even if it was the truth. It still shook them to the core. Whatever you said, it still lingers with them. It still haunts them. So for some of you, that's the case. Others of you, yeah, they really didn't expect you to leave. They really didn't expect you to, even if they were the ones to ghost you, it's like they thought you would do the chasing and you didn't. And that put a damper to all their plans of what they thought was going to turn out in this connection. And for some of you, I wonder like if you were even living with this person before, let them stay at your house until they found a new place. And when you guys stopped talking and interacting, they didn't have a place to go. their security kind of shook, whether that is literally or if it's, you know, their own ego kind of shook up when you didn't play into their hands the way they thought you would. Someone could live by like a clock tower, or like a skyscraper, I don't know if someone lives in like downtown area or something, but it's like someone could see a very large, tall building right outside their window. Anyway. What they like the most about this connection, Cancer, is the Ace of Cups. Water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. This is why they're obsessed. You opened a part of their heart chakra that no one else has opened up before. I do feel confident enough to say out of anyone they've ever had a connection with, they felt the more of emotional bond with you. That there's an emotional anchor that you've kind of established within this connection that they still feel so strongly about. You pull at their heartstrings, Cancer. It breaks their heart if they see you hanging out with someone they think you're moving on to or with. But yeah, Cancer, they caught feelings, period. And I do feel that's why despite how they feel it's over, their mind is kind of saying, but it's time to go for it. Or it's time to still at least work towards it. Keep your distance now. But they really do believe you are just as in love with them. And then that emotional bond that you guys have created in this connection will always last. Maybe even Cancer, they describe you as being their first love, or that's what you've told them before. But with this Ace of Cups, yeah, they like that they're whatever they view love as to be. They feel like there's love that still exists within this connection, feelings that still exist in that connection that can never fade. I'm seeing something about a beach too that someone could live by. On the coast, maybe West Coast, East Coast, someone may live by, or by like a big lake or something. I picked up on that in Pisces reading too, if that means anything to anyone. But what they don't like about the connection, Cancer, is the Queen of Cups, Cancer energy. Some of you could possibly be dealing with another Cancer perhaps, but this is what I feel with this Queen of Cups card. Regardless of gender or sex, this is feminine water energy, and we all have masculine and feminine energies. You pick up on everything, Cancer. And you have this sixth sense that kind of freaks them out a little bit in some ways. Like, I don't know if there was like times when you finished their sentences, you already knew what they were going to do. Like you guys were watching shows, TV shows, documentaries, whatever, and you predicted the ending way before it ever happened. And it kind of freaked them out in a lot of ways, how intuitive you are, how psychic you are, even for some of you guys. But also, how can this person want to have their cake and eat it too? Because what I feel with this Queen of Cups is that, I don't know, maybe with all the engagement you did in the past with the Eight of Pentacles, and if the roles are reversed, just flip them, but someone felt like it was just too much. And they've almost felt like from having an emotional bond, it was going to stifle them. It was going to suffocate them. And they weren't ready to be as down with it as they were really starting to feel. And the emotions were starting to get too intense, too deep with you. And I also feel for others of you, if they're keeping their distance, Cancer, I do feel for some of you, it's out of this respect for you right now because you are a good person. You are this light and love in people's lives with the Queen of Cups, that you care so much that, I don't know, they almost view you to be a little bit emotional or vulnerable, and they don't want to put you through that just yet. But if this is even them, let's just say this Queen of Cups is them. They don't like how emotionally involved they are in this situation. They care so much and they don't want to. They care so much about you and they don't want to. There's something that they learned in their early development or with their past experiences in love and romance, that emotional attachment leads to codependency, or leads to vulnerability or emotional emotional competency that they're not ready for, I guess. I hope that makes sense. But God, Mercury retrograde always messes up the way I say things. But yeah, I just feel like they weren't ready for the depth of love that you could give. Maybe because they didn't feel like they could have it for themselves. So how could they give back something they don't even know they have or don't believe they have? Now, very specifically here, someone doesn't like someone's mom. Okay? I don't know who that's for, but it's just a message out there. I feel like they don't like your mom, Cancer. Maybe because your mom warned you about this person. I don't know. Or maybe they know that there's some sort of wound around that as well. Highest hopes, Cancer, is the Three of Cups. More Cancer energy. Reconciliation. Eventually. I really don't feel they will have the strength or the courage to do it in September, but this is all what they're planning for and what they daydream, what they fantasize about is being back with you, hanging out with you, being in a connection with you again. But I do feel like they still want to keep it casual, Cancer, with this Three of Cups. Friends with benefits, someone that I could call when I need a little love, when I'm feeling a little lonely. When I want something to do, I could just call Cancer to hit up and hang out with. That's how it feels. And I also feel with this Three of Cups too, they're hoping that, like, I don't know, everyone in your circle doesn't really know about the connection and isn't gossiping or talking crap about them, that you're all still good. I don't know. It feels that way. But that, like, you guys could just leave the past in the past and make amends and get back to normal where things were, even if you felt unhappy in it. They were good with how things were. Now, someone's birthday could be July 3rd or July 13th. I'm seeing here. Just confirmations. But deepest fears, King of Wands, Leo energy. Cancer, when your mind's made up, it's made up. That's what they're afraid of, and that there's no way that you would be engaged with this, that you have moved on to newer and better things. You aren't even excited about this connection anymore. You're not even thinking of this person in a romantic way, that you're stubborn. You're going to shift your attention elsewhere and focus on that. They had their chance, they blew it. But to even overcome this far better than they have is something that they're afraid of as well. Where maybe at first you were upset by them going silent or by them not replying or them not hanging out with you or breaking up with you, whatever it was, that the tables really flipped and turned. And that no matter how determined they are in this, no matter how obsessed they are in this, things aren't going to change if you're not willing to engage in this, if you're not willing to open up to this. But yeah, I do feel this King of Wands, even in the picture here, it's like he's watching, he's looking, not even at the, Corinth who's reading the card, but at whatever he's fixated on, and that he's just going to be stuck on that fixation with the ideas of getting you back, but never having it really grounded in reality. Damn. All right, Cancer, to see the likely outcome of this situation, what's likely to happen in this connection, what do you need to know about this person, what they're likely to do next, we're going to go ahead and take this to Vimeo for the extended reading. I'm going to overturn this card here to show you what's likely to unfold, but I'm also going to pull oracle cards as well. If you still have any unanswered questions, let's dive deep into this and see if we can figure this whole situation out, and if there's anything else Spirit wants you to know about this connection. If you'd like to join me for the extended reading, open up the description box and you'll find the link to Vimeo, which will take you to the extended reading. But if this is where you depart, Cancer, I really hope that this reading has resonated with you. I hope it's provided you with confirmation, healing, clarity, and guidance in regards to your love life. And if it has, please let me know. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you, Cancer, very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care, Cancer.